In this quick video guide, we're going to see some new tools in Windows or photo editor of Windows. So we're going to work specifically with images. We're going to get into the editor and we can see that we are now in a standard Windows. We can see some pictures and videos. And for this tutorial, we're going to work with images. So I'm going to pick an image and we're going to do some AI generative removal. So we're going to test a new features here, new tools of artificial intelligence in Windows. So I'm going to take this picture here that I've taken on a boat, and I will right click and go to open with, and I can open this with Photoshop or Canva or Pixar, or if I go to open, I can open it with the editor. So right now we're going to use the Windows editor, but there are other tools out there that can do generative AI removal and also generation of parts in the image. So we're going to remove parts in this video. You can see the pink button on the top left. If you click in there, you're going to get into the edit mode or into the editor, and you can start editing things. So you have the cropping tool that will let you crop or also straighten up the picture a little bit if it's not perfectly horizontal or vertical. And then with the borders, I can click and drag from the edges, from the borders, and I can remove the what is outside there. So that's also a removal operation if I want. And if I don't want to use like some customized format, I can also pick from the various formats. You can also go back and forth here. So really basic tools here that you can find and use in the editor. Now these are all the formats that you can use. So you have vertical formats, horizontal formats, square formats like social network, etc., etc. So these are cropping. You can also flip the image, and these are not like artificial intelligence tools. These are like the standard tools that we usually have in any editor, including Windows. Well, let's have a look also here quickly to the color correction. So you can work on the contrast, exposure, luminosity, shadows, highlights, vignetting effect, and coloring, etc., etc. And I want to do this because when you do this, you're actually working with the pixels. You're changing the original image, and I suggest to do this after if you want to modify with artificial intelligence, because you're already manipulating the image colors, the intensity, the saturation, and the sharpness. In this case, you can make it sharper, etc., etc. So you're already like we can say this, disrupting the original pixels and creating artificially new pixels, new colors. Then you have filters also that can apply additional effects, just like in Photoshop or social networks. You have markup when you can just draw on top of the image. Again, I'm not gonna spend too much time on this, just to have a quick look. Now in the delete, now we have the new generative removal or delete command. And this is a preview, meaning that probably this is not the finalized version. Now you can do this automatically or you can do it manually by painting a mask. So it's really, really close to what we find in Photoshop and other external tools. And so let's go for automatic, and this is the dimension of the brush. So I'm gonna try to brush on top of that part of the boat that I don't want to see, and see if the artificial intelligence will be ready to remove this and just leave the sky. And sometimes again, when you apply a lot of effects before, you can see this is kind of getting something strange. So it's not really working. So that's a little bit of, annoying. I think that it's perhaps that's not the final version, it's a preview version, but also because I played a lot with previous editing. So one thing I can try is to increase the brush size, but you can see nothing happens. So the only way now is to cut off that part, perhaps using the crop tool, and just get rid of the entire part. But sometimes you don't want to do that. You want to keep the sky, or you want to keep the vertical format, etc., etc. And yeah, we can try to do this manually, but it's not so different. So let's try to manually remove that. So you can add and remove the mask by using these two buttons. I'm sorry this is in Italian, but it's a pretty simple interface so you can understand. And then this is the dimension, the size of the brush. Once you're ready, just hit delete and wait. Okay, now you can see that it removed that by generating like a missing part that is, it was a hole before, or a cave in the cliff. So the smaller the detail is, the better is going to be to remove it. So if you have like small defects, small errors you want to remove, you can definitely do that with really small. But I think it has a better result when you work with an image that is in original and you didn't apply any other editing tools on top of that. So I'm going to open up this other image. I'm not going to use any editing tool except for the AI tool. So I'm going to go directly into the AI eraser. And I'm going to paint on these things here, and I'm going to try to remove them automatically. And there you go. You can see it does an excellent job. We can see some blurriness, some artifacts there, some blur artifacts, but that's an excellent job. Let's like delete something smaller. So I'm gonna decrease the size. I'm gonna remove that watch on the tower, and also these other little like windows, I guess. So you can see now I successfully removed those elements without, showing everything looks the same. I can remove people. I can make this look more desolated. So like you can remove, really small details or bigger details. The bigger they are, the more problematic. And then we have this other one. It's a background removal. So I can remove the entire background. I can also apply a blur on the background. So this is more when you have like something in the foreground and something in the background, like I don't know, a subject really close to the camera and something far, far away. So this simulates the camera out of focus effect or depth of field effect. And so you can increase the blur. If I increase the blur here, you can see that the artifacts due to the removal, the artificial intelligence removal, are less visible. And also you can go here and do this not automatically, but let's say manually again with adding the mask and remove the mask. You can see down here there is a bit of masking which is not really needed because that's not my background. So I can remove or add parts that will be considered as background. And of course I don't want this to be considered as background. So you better remove it. If you want, you can reset anytime. If you think you've done something wrong, you can reset. You can start all over. You can change the dimension, the size, the blurriness of the brush edges to make it more soft. And you can change the tool. So this is the background removal tool. And it's going to remove it with a checkerboard. Now you need to save this as PNG if you want to remove the background, and you can then do photo montage in another software, or here you can just substitute the background with the color, which is the third tool. And again, these are previews, these are not finalized yet, so there are probably going to be some improvements to this. But let's see the last one. This is the color replacement. So again, you can do it manually like this. I'm going to remove manually the part that I want to keep because I don't want to remove that. That's not the background. And there you go. Now you can see that the background just turned with a single color. And probably in the future they will add like the possibility to put a sky or something there in the background. But right now they're just, I think, beginning, just like many other application. Now once you finish, you can just save. On the right side you have a pink button again to save it, overriding or just saving with a new name. So I can go all the way back now, or back and forward with the little buttons up there. And I think I'm going to stop here for this video guide, and stay subscribed to the channel because probably there are going to be more tools coming in the future and we're going to make updates. So subscribe and stay updated. join the channel if you want to thank us and support us, and check our other courses in Photoshop, GIMP, Canva, Pixlr, and other photo editing applications. So thanks for watching, and see you in the next video guide.